Now we move on to our next news. President Vladimir Putin remains resolute in his commitment to continuing Russia's military actions in Ukraine, with sources close to the Kremlin indicating that he undeterred by threats from U.S. President Donald Trump. Putin reportedly believes that Russia's economy and military are capable of withstanding additional Western sanctions, and he intends to pursue peace on his own terms. These terms include demands for NATO to cease its eastward expansion, for Ukraine to adopt a neutral stance, and for international recognition of Russia's territorial gains. As Russian forces continue to make progress on the ground, there are indications that Putin's desire for further territorial acquisition may intensify. Some sources suggest that should Ukraine's defenses weaken, Putin may seek to push deeper into Ukrainian territory. Now we are joined for this discussion by Stefan Nagy. He's a professor at International Christians University. Thank you, Professor, for joining us today. Good to see you. How does President Putin's insistence on pursuing peace only on his terms, including demands on NATO and Ukraine's neutrality, shape the prospects for any diplomatic resolution into this conflict?
Well, President Putin's positions on Ukraine have really not changed since 2014. The Crimean Peninsula was taken over by Russia. And after the February 2022 invasion of Ukraine, we've seen a continued and consistent approach to the maximalist demands when it comes to Ukraine. Vladimir Putin's bottom line is that Ukraine will not be an independent state or will be a broken state. Vladimir Putin's bottom line is that Ukraine cannot exist within NATO or likely within the European Union, and that it must submit to Russian influence. This has not changed. He continues to pursue this approach, and he does this with support from other authoritarian regimes like China.
And Stefan, given Putin's confidence in Russia's ability to withstand further Western sanctions, is it realistic, and what does this signal about the effectiveness of current international economic pressures on Russia that's already present?
Well, ultimately, the sanctions don't hurt the elite, they hurt the ordinary Russian people. And the question for Putin and the elites is how much pain can ordinary Russians feel? This is the real challenge. I think this is the real question is how long can ordinary Russians do without medicine, do without using the international financial system, without being able to travel abroad, study abroad. These are real challenges for Russia. Not to mention, I think the Trump administration's proclaimed willingness to have 100% tariffs on countries that trade with Russia. This could very negatively impact Russia, and I think that we're going to have to play a wait-and-see game if the Russian regime is really willing to succumb to this kind of pain and put its people through this kind of economic challenge. And at this stage, I don't think anybody really knows. That's really up to the Russian elite that have pursued this war in Russia.
Thank you for sharing that, Professor. Now, please stay with us as we stay on this topic. The European Union failed to approve its